Hello. So I got a question this morning about the differences between misbelief and a belief in God. So I wrote this book called Misbelief, and it's a book that describes the process by which people start adopting an alternative narrative to life, and they go through what I call the funnel of misbelief, and they become immune to information, and it's very, very hard to shake their belief. It's a process that lots of people go through. I think it's an incredible, important thing to understand in our society, and it helps explain lots of things that we see around us. Anyway, what's the difference between misbelief and a belief in God? So, first of all, misbelief, the idea that people adopt these false narratives, starts with stress. And stress causes people to want to have a story. Help me understand what is going on. What is going on? And then they find a story. Now, for misbelief, it's usually something really bad that happens. Somebody lost their job, there's COVID, they're not doing as well, somebody passed away, opioid epidemic, people are, all kinds of bad things are happening. So because of that, they look for a villain. What would explain bad things happening? It's not going to be a benevolent God, it's going to be a villain. So both of those things are related to stress. Believe in God is related to stress, believe in misbelief is related to stress. But the search for a story is a story about a bad thing that is happening. So I feel something is wrong, I don't understand the world, and I need an explanation. Now, because it's something bad that is happening, I'm looking for a villain. So I look for a villain. And at the moment, it gives me comfort. Oh, now I understand the world. I understand that this is not really me, it's Bill Gates and the Illuminati and all kinds of things like that. Or it's the cabal, or it's this people in the government who are subversing freedom of speech, whatever it is. So stress causes the desire to an alternative narrative. We look for a villain with a story, and that pushes us toward this misbelief. Belief in God is very different. Belief in God rarely helps solve a particular problem. Belief in God is a very general belief. I believe that there's a good entity out there, that it basically has a plan and has my benefit. Yes, from time to time there's a devil, but mostly it's a good entity. And in fact, as over time, the US, for example, is becoming less and less religious. And because we're becoming less and less religious, we also are losing something about our resilience. Right? If we believed in society, 10 years ago, there was a good entity who wanted our best and had the plan, that's a source of resilience. We get resilience from friends, from loved ones, from social support, from feeling that other people care about us, also from the belief that the world is ordered and has a purpose. So as religiosity is going down, resilience is going down, and the adoption of misbelief is going up. So a belief in God is a resilience-creating activity. It's a general mechanism to get us to feel less stress. We don't understand the world, somebody understands. Somebody has a plan, God. God understands, God has a plan. It's for a good purpose. We might not look at it right now, we might not see it right now, but there is a good plan. I remember when a little bit after I got injured, maybe a couple of years later, I went to a conference and there was a very high religious ranking person there. And I said, how do you explain something like this accident? And he said, mysterious are the ways of the God. You don't know what it is, but there's a plan. It's all for good. So belief in God, in fact, in general, increases quality of life. Right? If you truly believe, it's an immunity, it's a psychological immunity, it's resilience, and so on. So, if you ask me what do I recommend, for well-being, believing in God is a good thing. Misbeliefs are not good. Misbeliefs are not general. They're not a generic immune system that helps understand to know that there's a plan. There are specific mechanisms that explain a specific bad thing, and they actually have a small deterioration. So anyway, big differences between them. They are related because they both help us deal with stress, with the world being difficult to understand and complex and sometimes painful and so on. But one is a generic mechanism that in general helps us, and one is a negative mechanism that helps us feel better at the moment, but in the long term gets us to deteriorate. Okay, misbelief and religion. Related, very, very different.